Track Record with your hosts Mike Shea and Robert Yetter. Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Track Record.
Oop.
My name is Mike Shea.
My name is Robert.
Right, a.k.a. Burps McGee. We're just going to call you Burps McGee.
We had
today.
good names last time.
We did. Forget.
It was Dildo and Scroto.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun episode. I was drunk.
Oh, man. Yeah, we were pretty fucked up.
Yes. Welcome to Track Record, everyone.
Yeah. We get drunk and talk about things.
We're getting drunk again.
Yeah, we are. What do you got tonight?
I've got in one hand a Leinenkugel. This one's the orange shandy. It's out of their summer variety box. Mm-hmm. It had the summer shandy, the orange. It had a cherry. What was it? A cherry blonde ale, and then it had some other shit I can't remember. Bruh. That's in one hand.
Double fisting. What?
In the other hand, I have some sake in this beautiful square cup that I got at the Asian market today.
That's so cool. So,
Kenpai.
Oh, yeah. Shot. Everybody.
It's fun drinking out of a square.
Is it hard to drink out of a square?
I kind of just do it on the corner.
Okay.
And it works out.
I'm
what
drinking
I
got a Kahlua smoothie.
Say what?
What?
Man, we are exotic today.
I've been on a smoothie kick lately. It's good for the system, and they're delicious. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna get fucked up tonight, might as well do it in the form of a smoothie. My mom was like, you should make a Kahlua smoothie, and lo and behold, the woman knows how to make a smoothie that'll fuck you up.
Damn.
Right?
You know, I love getting fucked up with my family. You know.
My family doesn't really get fucked up.
Yeah. But
we'll
yet
drink,
she knows how to make a banging alcoholic smoothie.
My mom loves White Russians.
Oh man,
she loves Kahlua. Yeah. So
see, that's the drink that I share with my mom.
Oh really?
That's our kind of thing. Yeah. It was a thing one year. I went there. I visited Colorado, and I was like, I've been making these White Russians. I've got my recipe down pat. Like, let's drink them. And she fell in love with them. Actually, the most recent trip, this past Christmas, I brought the, if you recall from a podcast long ago, that Dr. McGillicuddy's, that cherry liqueur.
Yeah.
And she was putting that, I made crepes one morning, she was putting that shit on her crepes. I kid you not. Yeah. She was putting that shit on everything. She was obsessed with that McGillicuddy's.
There's a place here in Dayton that we go to eat called Elsa's. It's kind of a Mexican place, and they're known for their margaritas called the Bad Juan.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, they got like 5 different versions. There's the Golden Juan and the Watermelon Juan. There's one of them has a version of it that's so high in alcohol you have to sign a waiver, and they only serve you like 2.
How could it be that high in alcohol?
I have a clue.
Regular tequila is only like 40%.
I don't know if it's some special alcohol tequila they're getting or what.
They mix the tequila with Everclear or some shit.
Oh God, that would kill me.
Everclear.
Everclear. Oh man. But now, what's great about these Kahlua smoothies is you can freeze them for a couple of hours, and then they just basically turn into ice cream.
Holy shit!
Get fucked up on an ice cream sundae.
So it's just Kahlua in there, or is there like vodka in there?
It's the only alcohol you use is Kahlua. It's Kahlua, bananas, and like Cool Whip and ice, and you blend it.
Holy ass.
Bruh. I put a little bit of peanut butter in there because peanut butter and bananas. Fuck yeah.
You know what? I haven't had a peanut butter banana sandwich since I was like 13.
Oh, yeah, I was a kid.
I need to
They're
make
so
one
good.
of those.
I'm going to make one of those in the morning. That's going to be my breakfast tomorrow.
There you go.
I just bought a whole bunch of bananas. So, yeah, man.
I feel like snacking now.
No shit. Well, speaking of, peanut butter banana sandwiches when you're a preteen, we're getting into some teenage stuff. On today's show.
I'm going to put in the description of this podcast. Whoa, here's our mascot. I'm going to put into the description of this podcast, Mike and Bob finally devote a whole episode to bitching about emo music.
It's finally, it finally happened. I didn't think it would ever get here, but we found a reason.
So,
and it's a great reason.
Yes, that's our theme for today, folks. Mike and I chose an album from, high school or, then abouts on our teenage years, that we are ashamed that we might have loved so much, or uh-oh.
Baby girl.
Oh, did you break it? Come here.
Baby girl.
I guess that one's done for. I've already glued it once.
She's just sad that her toy is broken. She didn't even, get hurt or anything. But, no, it's, see, in my case, for the one that I gave you, it was, an obsession of mine. I loved that band so much. I had a sweatshirt, I listened to it religiously. And so the theme of this is maybe not that we're ashamed that we listen to them, but it's just something that we grew out of, I think.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
it's definitely from a
emo.
guilty part of my life.
I'm sorry, baby.
When we were young and angsty and just
puberties.
Oh man, God. So this is gonna be an episode filled with regret, I think. So much regret.
Sounds good. Well,
all right.
I guess I'm going to kick it off.
You go right ahead.
I'm going to kick it off. So, all right. Let me open up my little review here. Really just words. Angsty words.
Angsty words about an angsty album.
So I've got an album called Still Not Getting Any by Simple Plan. And, yeah. We're talking 2004. And this was the absolute height. This was the fucking golden age of whiny rock music. 2004.
Oh, man.
Alright, so check this list out.
Yeah.
We saw this record by Simple Plan.
Yep.
Saw 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by MCR.
Oh my God, that was the same year.
And that's the godfather right there of emo music. We've got In Love and Death by The Used. The Silence in Black and White by Hawthorne Heights.
Oh.
Let It Enfold You by Senses Fail. We're Only Chasing Safety by Under Oath. You've got Futures by Jimmy Eat World. And you've got Where You Want to Be by Taking Back Sunday. Which, in my opinion, is the best out of all of these, and actually kind of a masterpiece of an album, that Taking Back Sunday album.
Man, what a year.
Yeah, this truly was an amazing...
There's one more that came out that year that I almost gave you, and that's The Chronicles of Life and Death by Good Charlotte.
Gag me. I would take all the members of Good Charlotte and put them in a room with all the members of Simple Plan, and then just fucking, I don't know. I would take all of their albums, their whole entire discographies, and I would make them eat every single copy that was ever printed. Which is a fucking shit ton. Those bands went fucking platinum and shit.
Jesus, yeah. Took over the world for a while.
So 2004 was an amazing year for emo music, and I'm not even lying that when I say that I owned every single one of those CDs that I just listed, aside from the Simple Plan one, but every single one of the other ones I owned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Simple Plan, for me, they were always just a bit too, quote-unquote, middle school for me. And, you know, by that I mean they're immature. Or they're middle school, you know. When I was looking up information about Simple Plan on the internet, the second sentence of the Wikipedia page, when you look it up, says this sentence: the album garnered a positive reception, but critics were unsure of the band's musicianship and lyricism in their given genre. And that sums up Simple Plan exquisitely. They're, simply put, not very good at music. If you compare Simple Plan to Taking Back Sunday or My Chemical Romance, you get a very amateurish, watered-down version of the emo genre. Lyrically, Simple Plan doesn't measure up. Where You Want to Be by Taking Back Sunday is some of the most lyrically fantastic music ever put out, I think. So they can't measure up to that. Excuse me. There's really nothing to take away from Simple Plan's music. There's nothing exceptional about it, nothing thought-provoking, certainly nothing that stirs any emotion, nothing that wows you at all. All 44 minutes of Still Not Getting Any is really just a big waste of time. You keep waiting for it to get to something coherent and meaningful, but it never happens. And then, you know, the 44 minutes is over, and you're like, holy fucking nipple stacks, that was bad. I just listened to some 22-year-old whine about nothing for 44 minutes. It's a bad singer with bad lyrics, backed by a talentless band, and this album is the pure definition of mediocrity. It ends, and you hardly even notice that you were listening. It's really freaky how easy it is to tune this out. I was listening to it while I was doing something else, you know, on the internet, and just it went by so fast, and it seemed like 2 songs. It was really weird. But no, I listened to the whole 44 minutes. One time, I didn't listen to it multiple times. Cheers. Now, can we talk about their album titles for just a second?
Oh, God, yes, please.
Okay. The album that came before this, the one that heralded most of their big hits, I believe.
These two. Pretty much.
It was called No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls. This album, of course, is called Still Not Getting Any. A later album's called Taking One for the Team. And we've got, what else do we have here? Get Your Heart On, The Second Coming. Heart, as in heart, not hard. Get Your Heart On, The Second Coming. So yeah, they have these, like, sexual puns, these, like, innuendos, in their album titles, and I don't fucking get it. They're trying to be funny, and especially, like an album title like Still Not Getting Any. They're trying to be funny, but seriously, they are Simple Plan. They were fucking huge. Their first album is double platinum. This album is fucking certified platinum. There's no way they were not having fucking huge, blue-haired, sad orgies every single fucking night. So their album titles don't make any sense. Still Not Getting Any. Yeah, right. They all have fucking gonorrhea. Every single one of those band members. So, yeah, Simple Plan. I hated this album. but I hardly noticed it. So the hate really isn't that strong because it was just like a blip. It was like, this album is absolutely meaningless. I hate his lyricism. He talks about absolutely nothing. I'm gonna give it a 0 out of 4. You hate it too, Lily?
Really?
Hates it so hard.
Lily, say, I don't like it. Why are you kissing me? Go get,
We love you, Daddy.
get Mama.
Yes, can I help you? What's up? Oh,
Yeah. So this definitely gets a 0 out of 4 for me. Again, I'm gonna force all those motherfuckers in a room, and I'm going to make them physically devour their own records. All 2 million copies of fucking no pads, no helmets, just balls.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say.
Yeah, it's not really a whole lot you can say about this. The album itself is ridiculously immature. What I found is that there were a couple times they attempted to be a little more deep or serious or whatever, but it still just felt
Yeah, but even
like a child's perspective of
it comes
the real
across
world.
as just not that.
The 2 times they seem to try is with the songs Crazy and Untitled. Untitled took off like a fucking firestorm when it came out because it was sad and had a piano, and the video was super depressing. And then Crazy is just like, man, the world sucks. It was like before there was Tumblr, which was full of bleeding hearts. Like, homelessness is the worst thing in the world. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to talk, but talking about it's the same as doing something about it, and that's what that song Crazy is. It's everything on here. Literally, there's a song called Welcome to My Life.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like breaking down? But then on this exact same album, there's literally a song called Jump. Forget your problems. I just want to jump. The very first track of the album is Shut up, shut up, shut up, don't want to hear it, which really kind of sums up my thoughts on the album. Shut up, I don't want to hear it. This is not good. And
No.
the thing I've noticed about this band is, you're right, all of their albums are with the exception of a self-titled album, they all have some kind of weird sexual innuendo. But some of these albums are when these guys were getting into their 30s. This is what Taking One for the Team came out in 2016. These guys are 40. And they're still writing middle school level sex pun.
You know
pop
what it
rock.
is? They're Canadian, man.
That's got to be it.
Fucking Montreal. All right, and this guy's fucking name is Pierre.
Yeah,
Pierre Bouvier.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All their name is Sébastien Lefebvre, Jacques Cormier, David Dressler, and Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Their fucking lead guitarist name's just Jeff. Yeah, it's and we say the world had a hard on for these guys. I mean, that included me at the time. I mean, all the albums you listed earlier, I owned every single fucking one. These guys were taking over the world.
Hey, Jeff's last name is Stinko.
Wow, that works.
Jeff Stinko.
Jeff Stinko, the only guy with a normal first name. And here's the thing about still not getting any that to this day blows my fucking mind. And that is that it was produced by Bob Rock.
What has he done?
Bob Rock has produced for just about every Metallica album. Motley Crue, Skid Row, The Cult, Bon Jovi, Tonic, Our Lady of Peace, The Offspring, This guy is produced for fucking everybody. Some of the biggest names, and then he's like, I'm gonna produce these Canadian guys who were singing about being sad and jumping and that should be good. That should be good. I'm gonna do that.
You know,
literally, he literally produced this album the year after producing Metallica's Some Kind of a Saint Anger.
Oh,
which just goes to show that Saint Anger broke him more than it did anybody else.
I guess so.
This album, Simple Plan, needs to stop. They actually just came through Cincinnati on the 10-year anniversary tour of No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls.
Jeez.
And I'm just like, can we just be done, please? Stop, please. Simple Plan, just stop.
What does that album title even mean?
The taking one for the team?
No, just balls.
If I remember, the album art was just them surrounded by sporting goods. Or no, it was them at a fucking bachelor party, and there's strippers on the table and shit.
Yeah.
But because No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls is the album that had that song Addicted, where they use where basically he got away with saying dick on the radio because I'm a dick, I'm addicted to you.
Yeah,
it's okay, we see what you did there. You're clever. Please stop.
Yeah, you said dick.
Or everyone's favorite, I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare.
That's best.
The fuck ever. Oh, man.
So, this got pretty mediocre reviews, but yet everybody bought it.
Yeah. It sold a gazillion copies, but everybody was like, why? This is bad. One critic named Robert Christogow, whatever, literally his review is a picture of a bomb.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice. Meaning blow this up with a bomb. Set it on fire.
Fucking bad.
All right. Well, 0 out of 4 for Simple Plan. Still
Well
not
deserved.
getting any. And I hope they're still not getting any because they don't deserve it. So, boom.
Nope.
Some messages from Mike. We'll be right back.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. There's nothing quite as satisfying as a good conversation with intelligent company. Join comedian Don Smith every week as he sits down and talks with comedians, actors, filmmakers, writers, and everyday schmoes. It's The Life with Don Smith, Wednesdays at noon on 106.9 FM, and now available on the Eventide Entertainment podcast feed every Friday on Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. If there's one thing that's true about wrestling fans, it's how much they like to talk about wrestling. Join Aaron Lopez and Ben Norsworthy for the Top Rope Wrestling Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Tune in every episode and be ringside as these two break down all of the big matches in the world of professional wrestling. Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
We're back, everyone. It's the Emo Show. The Emo Edition track record. What's up? I had a Simple Plan song stuck in my head that I was just singing. I told Candace earlier today that at any given time, if she just looks at me and I'm not doing anything or it doesn't look like I'm thinking about anything, odds are I either have a Rihanna song in my head or a T-Pain song in my head.
Oh, God.
Those are very frequent in my brain. I don't know why, but cheers.
Seek help, my friend. Seek help.
I thoroughly enjoy both of those artists. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll take Rihanna.
It's just one song by T-Pain, though. It's called
Which
Bottles.
Oh, I know that one.
It's got a sick beat, but
I hear T-Pain and it's like, I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. his shit and I'm on a boat is the fucking best. Just auto-tune backing up everything dude says.
Hell yeah.
Hey, my flippy floppies.
It's good shit.
Oh, man. So, we just got done listening to Robert, frankly, and I tear into Simple Plan's Still Not Getting Any. 0 out of 4. Well-deserved. Just not good. And I don't know if I'd consider the one I'm about to talk about better or worse. It's just kind of in the same vein of just early 2000 emo rock is what I'm going with. This album is called The Room's Too Cold by the band The Early November. I was familiar with this album because it did come out a little around the same time as the kind of peak of American emo rock was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to some of the album once when it came out, but never the whole thing, because of just a few months later after it was released is when the aforementioned wave of emo rock hit, and this one I think just kind of got swallowed up in the mix, as did the band a little bit. I know they had a pretty good career. They're still, I guess, technically around. They put an album out last year. But they're just one that's they've always been around, just kind of in the background. The Room's Too Cold is much like a lot of albums that were coming out at this time, short. There was this weird period with American music where people didn't want their albums too long or their songs much longer than 3 or 4 minutes. It comes in at a whopping 46 minutes and 40 seconds. Woo, woo, woo. And similar to Still Not Getting Any, those 46 minutes just kind of blow by. You plug it in, and you're listening, and you're wondering what the fuck is happening to you, and then before you know it, it's over, and you get to move on with your life. I didn't dig this even a little bit. There wasn't much to it. One of the things about this album is that it got The Early November onto a tour with Hawthorne Heights. You can make whatever judgments you want from that. Hawthorne Heights just keeps... We're going to have to do an episode about Hawthorne Heights. They keep coming up in this show.
Yeah.
Like every other episode, it feels like. Charting-wise, the album actually did pretty well. It peaked at about 107 on the U.S. Billboard 200. And it was number 1 on the top Heat Seekers albums charts. Whatever that is. To give you an idea of like how deep cut this movie is, one of their songs was featured on an episode of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Nice.
Yeah. Exchanging 200 is the one that got put on Dog the Bounty Hunter. The album itself is very busy. It's like they tried to cover their lack of creativity with as much sound as possible. There's a lot of samples and production going on. There's a lot of drums as well as additional percussion. There's a vibraphone. There's a string section. It's very busy. It was this weird idea of like, if we put a whole lot of stuff in here, even if it's not good, because there's a lot of it, people will think it's deep. and instead it's just kind of muddy, and I found a lot of it distracting. Kind of like bad album art itself. Now the album art for this actually isn't that bad. It's kind of simple and cool. But bad album art is like when you've just got like a billion things happening on the cover and you're not sure what you're supposed to be paying attention to. This reminds me of that. It reminds me of bad art in audio form. There is a B-side to this album called "Make It Happen." I'm not sure why they decided to make that song a hidden track. Just put it on the album because it's about on par with the rest of it. It's not like it's this big secret song that like it doesn't fit with the rest of the album, but we wanted to get it on there, so it's hidden. No, it's about on par with the other 11 songs on here. Similar to what was going on in the emo rock arena of the early 2000s, the song titles are pretty meh. One of the songs is literally called Sesame Smeshame, or Dinner at the Money Table, or just Fluxy. Whatever the fuck that means. This came in through Drive-Thru Records too, which Robert mentioned off air. You know, Drive-Thru Records for a while were a pretty big go-to. They're a label that housed Dashboard Confessional, Hello Goodbye. I think Newfound Glory was on there. I know Census Fail was. Ironically, there was a band called The Track Record signed to Drive-Thru Records, so there you go.
Finch.
Finch was on there.
Halifax, something corporate.
Halifax, Alistair.
Fuck.
Who else was on that? This was like the go-to label for Say No More was on there.
That band, Anne Angle, who was
that's
they were
right.
The total Bright Eyes ripoffs.
Yeah, they were.
Band.
I think Less Than Jake was with them at one point. But yeah, this was a go-to label, and I hear the early November, and you can tell that it was one of the bands that was like on this label when I guess the label was like figuring out what the fuck they were doing, and then at that point they were signed and they couldn't do anything about it.
Apparently Drive-Thru is no more.
Oh, have they gone away? That's a shame.
Back in 2008.
Oh, wow. They didn't last long at all. In a 12-year career. That's a shame. Well, when you look at the kind of crap they were putting out, like The Room's Too Cold, you know, there was a lot of good stuff coming out of Drive-Thru, but it's just, if they're letting stuff like this squeak through, to me, it just kind of shows they really were, especially because this came out in 2003, which is kind of the tail end of Drive-Thru Records. This kind of feels like they were scraping the barrel.
After that.
They were scraping the barrel at that point. Because the next album, The Mother, the Mechanic, and the Path, that came out in 2006. And that would have been the last album, pretty much one of the last albums put out on Drive-Thru Records. Anyway, what we're saying is the early November killed Drive-Thru Records. That's not actually what we're saying here. But we're not saying that there's the direct cause, but there is a connection. I've got nothing in this album that I can really recommend. It received mixed reviews. AllMusic gave it 4 out of 5, but Melodic gave it 2 out of 5. CMJ, New Music Monthly, gave it a favorable, which for them pretty much just means, it's a record. There's really nothing particularly special about this. It's not as like standoffishly naive as Still Not Getting Any was, but it's still not good. I can't really find anything to justify giving it more than 1 out of 4. I'll give it 1 star just because, whereas with Still Not Getting Any, there was no real attempt made to evolve the style of Simple Plan. You know, because Still Not Getting Any was their second album. They didn't make any attempt to evolve their sound or their music.
Not.
They just did the same fucking thing they always do. With The Room's Too Cold by the early November, this was their first album. And I haven't heard anything after this album. So I can kind of look at this as just like they were figuring themselves out still. I don't know if their sound changed or evolved at all as time went on. So I'm willing to at least concede them 1 star because they were just starting out on a label that was basically dying. So,
Yeah.
and I can definitely feel like, again, like it feels busy because you can tell they were trying to throw in a whole bunch of extra stuff on the album to make it sound like more than it actually was. So I'll give them credit for at least trying. But without that, there's nothing of any substance to this record really at all. So 1 out of 4 for The Room's Too Cold by the early November. May God have mercy on our souls for listening to this crap.
I used to love this album.
The operative
really
word they're
did.
being used to.
That song, I don't know. I guess I was a sad bastard. Still am a sad bastard, but not really. I'm a happy guy, but I don't know. I like my shit sad.
I have my days. I have my days where I'm like, man, I want to listen to something that's just fucking depressing. But if I do that, I'll usually go back and listen to like AFI or The Used, something that had, or Taking Back Sunday, something that had some semblance of substance to it.
Yeah. Ooh, AFI.
Yeah, I checked to see if when they Sing the Sorrow album, which was kind of like, the shit.
Was
came
that
out in
2004?
It was 2003.
Oh, okay.
So it was still about that same time, and then a couple years later is when December Underground came out.
There you go.
So they were on the up and up.
AFI.
But yeah, this was the peak of emo music, man. It really was.
Yeah, I remember I had a hoodie. I had all their albums. It's embarrassing. They're actually on Rise Records, which I guess has flies the banner of emo now.
Pretty much, yeah. They're kind of the.
They've got some deathcore on here, and they've got Chelsea Grin on here, some death metal, Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, Rise Records.
Five
they've got
Finger
some
Death
talent
Punch.
on there. They've got some talent on Rise. Death Punch is on
The
there.
Acacia Strain, At the Drive-In.
Silverstein, Memphis May Fire.
Yeah, they got some players, on the team.
18 Divisions.
But UNFD artists. I wonder what that means, because I see Thy Art is Murder is on here. But any hoot. Emo music had a time and a place, and that's over now. So so yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
We're grown up.
UNFD is an indie label that distributes their music through Rise Records.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a label. I think Thy Art is Murder was signed to them. Ooh. I think that was for like one album. I think Holy War was on UNFD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, emo music has gone by the wayside. Most emo bands have either evolved or just moved on. Others, not so much.
I think that the more hardcore the ones that leaned more towards metal rather than like the punk side, have actually survived better. They've survived the test of time better.
Oh yeah,
than these guys.
Like the Used. The Used had a pretty good career.
Oh man, the Used, they were catchy. I liked the Used.
There was an album they put out,
and really they the lyricism was just striking.
Yeah, honestly, I loved In Love and Death, but Lies for the Liars was a good album too.
Man,
did you listen to that one? Had that song "The Bird and the Worm."
Yeah,
it was a good song. I like that one.
Holy shit, we are emo reminiscing.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. We've been drinking and talking about emo music.
Hey!
I mean, shit.
Oh, man. I can hear Candace's,
Is she
Asian
K-popping?
K-popping.
She's K-popping.
Love that song that she's listening to. If you want some good hip hop, check out CL. Song called "Hello Bitches." Good stuff.
Subtle. I wonder what the song's about.
It's pretty much about nothing.
Saying goodbye to whores or hello to whores.
No, just it's more like a kind of a narcissistic type thing.
Oh, so like everything from
Like,
Tech Nine.
What's up, bitches? I'm in the room. More like that.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
I'm kidding, by the way. I like Tech Nine. All right, let's get the fuck out of here before this gets any worse.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. I think we have a show, sir.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right.
Just in time, I finished all my alcohol.
And my smoothie's about gone, so it's that time.
Is it hard to say smoothie without the
Smoothie.
smoothie?
Now, there is not a non-gay way to say the word smoothie. It's like the word squeegee. Like, I'm always shocked when I remember that squeegee is the technical term for that. Like, that's not like a slang term. It's actually called a squeegee. It's named after the sound it makes. Squeegee. I'm fucking drunk.
That's prolific, man.
Oh man, I'm getting fucking philosophical when I'm drunk on
Squeegee. Kahlua. Smoothie just sounds like I'm gonna give you my smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of my penis now. Okay, it's official.
It's smoothie. All right, let me know. Let me know how that goes over with your wife.
She's looking at me disapprovingly.
Oh, can she hear what we're saying?
No, she's listening to CL.
God.
Hello, bitches. Hello, smoothie.
She's going to hear this episode and just hate us both.
Perhaps.
All right, man.
More. All right, man.
It's been beautiful.
Fucking love you, bro.
I love you too.
Can we?
We love all of you. And can we what?
I just wanna bitch more about emo music another time.
Well, the next time we have an off the record, we'll do just a glorified emo bitch fest.
Do we get to do that this month?
Sure.
Cool.
Well, here's the thing, because we're probably not going to have a show next week because I'll be out of town for a film festival.
Understood.
So, but we'll have one for the week of the 22nd on Wednesday the 25th. So I think that's and that's also, remember, I'm coming to visit.
Ooh.
On the 21st.
Is that when you're coming?
I'm coming on the 22nd as soon as I get off work.
Holy ass.
So we can record an episode, like we can have an off the record with all three of us in the same fucking room together.
Drinking the same alcohol.
Oh, shit. It's going to get crunk.
Crunkety.
Is that still a word? Do people still say that? I don't know. I'm old.
But that's a good
old,
word.
Man. That's a great word. I missed that word. I'm bringing it back.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring it back.
You bring it on back, buddy. Crunk it up.
All right, people.
All right, folks. Goodbye. We love you.
Later. Bye-bye. Bye.
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 Bye.